2 at once? Wow.
Were you expecting this?
Shut up. You're having twins?
Twins? Well, I guess that means double trouble.
So you're going to need 2 of everything?
Does anybody else feel like yesterday you were truly peeing on that pregnancy stick? You blinked and now you're 14 weeks pregnant? That's how I'm feeling. Welcome to Expecting Times 2, week 14. Coming to you live from colorful Colorado with a big old bowl of Cadbury mini milk chocolate eggs. That's my weakness in pregnancy. Not going to lie, that's also my weakness outside of pregnancy. Go get yourself a bag and let's talk about week 14, ladies. This probably has been the most exciting part of this pregnancy so far for me. We did our gender reveal last night. I'm still riding high with excitement. I'm just cherishing what a special moment that was. My husband and I decided we wanted to involve our moms in the gender reveal just to make this a little bit more special. We didn't do a gender reveal with our first son. We made our baby shower a little bit bigger of a deal than we did the gender reveal. If you're debating doing a gender reveal, do what feels true to you, but find a way to make it special, whether it's just special for you or for you and your partner or maybe the little family you do have. Now that we've done it, I'm like, you know what? That was really cool. I wish I would have done it with my son as well. Find a way to, again, to just make it special for you. I'm not even going to lie. I hope my mom is listening to this episode. I was a diva around this gender reveal. I think my hormones were just all over the place. As I mentioned last week, I have these moments where I'm actually a psycho. I don't even know who I am for like a short period of time, anywhere from 30 seconds to sometimes 30 minutes. The doctor called me, praise be to God, gave us the results of our genetic testing. Everything came back low risk. She asked us at that point, do you want me to tell you the genders? I gave her my mom's cell phone number. Love my doctor's office, as I've said. They called her. They told her the genders of the babies. I almost put my mom on like house arrest until we had this gender reveal. I was like, you cannot tell anyone. If you go anywhere and they ask, you cannot let it slip out of your mouth. You can't tell the mailman, the chiropractor. I have 3 sisters. You cannot tell a single one of the sisters. I was just like a little bit crazy because I just wanted this to be so special. So my mom went to this great bakery in town. She got these beautiful cupcakes made where on the inside, when you cut them, there would be blue for boy or pink for a girl. When she told me this, I unleashed. I don't want cupcakes. I want cakes. I want to use our champagne flutes. Whew. I went a little bit crazy. I think my mom was even like, okay, I'm just going to talk to you tomorrow. I had like a couple hours to think about it. I apologized to her. I was like, wow, sorry, that was a little bit crazy. So if you're listening, Mom, sorry again. I know I went a little bit crazy. Blame the hormones, baby. But what we did end up doing, we're going to talk about some gender reveal ideas, but I am going to tell you what we did. My mom went back to another bakery and she got 2 cakes made. I'm sure by now your doctor is also referring to your babies as twin A and twin B. So on cake 1, she wrote twin A. On cake 2, she wrote twin B. We decided to do just the gender reveal with my husband, my son, and my mom, actually in person. And then we had others that wanted to join. They jumped on FaceTime or Zoom. My son, I'll be posting the video on social media. My son hated the gender reveal. He does not like loud noises. He doesn't like screaming or jumping up and down. It alarms him. So it's quite funny, as you'll see in the video. He's like, nope, something's wrong. What's going on here? But my husband and I, we each had a cake in front of us. We used our champagne flutes from our wedding, and we just smashed those suckers into the cake to see the gender of each of our babies. I will get to later in the episode the gender of the 2 little nuggets, but A couple ideas for you if you're debating it. Again, if it's not your thing, I get that. It wasn't my thing with our first son either. But I just encourage you, we did record figuring out the gender of our first son just so we had something special to show him one day. You can do something as simple as have your doctor's office email a bakery around the corner from you the result. You could go pick up 2 cupcakes. You could pick up 2 cookies. You could have a friend find out and she could bring over 2 flowers for the colors. Think about what's best for you, but here's a couple of ideas. A rooftop banner. I thought this was super cute. If you're doing a gender reveal with quite a few people, obviously you're still going to need someone to know the gender of the babies. And they make a banner and they go, out of the windows up at the top of the house, or if they have access to a rooftop or a balcony on a higher level, you and your partner stand outside in the grass and then they drop the banner and they reveal the genders. I thought that was a really fun idea, especially if you're having a larger group of people where everyone can kind of congregate outside and share in that moment together. Custom piñatas. So you can have piñatas made anywhere you would get a piñata for a birthday party as well. You could have 2 white piñatas made, and then on the inside they could stuff them with candy of different colors, obviously based on the boys or based on the girls, or if you're having one of each. I love this idea, especially if you have older kids, so they feel like they can really participate. They can be the ones whacking that piñata. If you have several young kids coming, what a fun way to involve them and get them excited about these little babies coming. So again, custom piñatas, love that idea. Something a little more simple, but still fun. You could get 2 black balloons, and fill them with candy colors. You could use Nerds, you could use Skittles. I cannot blow up a balloon to save my life. This option sounds exhausting for me, especially if maybe I'm trying to surprise my guests and I know the gender and I have to fill the balloons. But a fun idea, something that's cheap, easy, quick, something you can pull together within an hour. Golf balls loaded with chalk colors. I also love this idea. It's a little over the top for my taste personally. All this stuff you can find online. If you can, support maybe Etsy. See if you can support someone local who's making these really fun items. But I think it's a cool idea, especially if you're a golfer, maybe your partner's a golfer. I think it's fun to whack 2 golf balls and see the cute smoke go up and reveal the genders that way. Again, also great if you're having a little bit of a larger party. Speaking of gender reveals, likely you're going to take a significant amount of photos or videos at your gender reveal. And I'm wondering how everyone is feeling about documenting their pregnancy. I think there's 3 types of people, in my opinion, when it comes to pregnancy. There's the people that the minute they find out they're pregnant, they pick out that outfit online and they are going to do a photo every 2 weeks, 8 weeks, 10, 12, 14, 16, and document the growth of their adorable, sweet little belly throughout their entire pregnancy. They're going to buy the outfit in 3 different sizes. Usually it's like a really cute bralette with a cute pair of full butt underwear. And they're going to keep those photos forever. They might even post them on social media, but they will not forget to take a single photo every 2 weeks. Then there's the total opposite end of the spectrum. Maybe you've taken no photos so far since you found out you were pregnant. To be fair, maybe you're not popping yet. I know I sure am. But then there's other people who forget almost to document the pregnancy. I maybe have 4 photos of my mom pregnant with me, and I feel like most of them were at the tail end of her pregnancy. I wish I had more. I think it's so sweet to see my mom's big, beautiful belly and her blonde hair and just how happy she was pregnant with me. But I have to admit, I'm kind of more on that end of the spectrum. I'm terrible at taking photos pregnant. I also felt like with my son, is he ever going to want to see these? And everyone kept saying, you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for your son. And I thought, am I really going to be like 60, 70 years old looking back and wanting to see photos of my belly? I don't know. Maybe I'll regret that. I care way more about the photos of him. I love the photos from our birth. but I'm trying to get a little bit better in this pregnancy. I bought the outfit when we were 8 weeks pregnant. It is still in my top drawer, even with the tags on. Not gonna lie. So now I feel like, should I just start doing photos at 14 weeks, 18 weeks, 20 weeks? I don't know. Then there's the people somewhere in between those two. They're good at taking photos. They don't have such a regimented schedule for every 2 weeks documenting their pregnancy. Maybe my goal is to be in that middle group. So far, not a single photo has been taken. At 14 weeks, maybe you're feeling more comfortable now as well, starting to tell people that you're pregnant and expecting twins. For me personally, I kept my pregnancy a secret until I was actually 16 weeks with my son, Jude. I didn't pop at all. There was really no signs I was pregnant. I was just worried that something might go wrong, and I didn't want to have to make those phone calls to people if they did. Looking back, had something gone wrong, I probably would have wanted the support of people around me. The amount of people that have just showed up for my husband and I since we had Jude, in terms of bringing food over, let us come over and babysit so you can go on a date night. Let me come over and paint your toenails for you. I think people are so supportive when you're pregnant, when you're going through it, when you have the baby right after. They're probably, in hindsight, had something happen before, 16 weeks. I probably would have wanted that same community to know and me to be able to reach out to them and speak to them. With this pregnancy, I think we're feeling a little bit more comfortable starting to tell people. As we've all talked about, we kind of had to get over the shock phase before we started telling other people. I honestly think if we would have told them around 8 or 9 weeks, everyone would have been like, are you guys okay? Are you guys all right? Because we just were in shock. We weren't like sharing the excitement of it. We were just like, yeah, we're having two. Yep, you heard that right. So now I'm starting to think about telling more people that we're pregnant. And first up, aside from my sisters, who now know, of course my parents know, my husband's parents, and my husband's siblings know, I'm feeling like I need to tell my work. I have a lot of anxiety about telling my work that I'm pregnant again because, to be fair, I feel like I was just on maternity leave. I wasn't. I took 10 weeks of maternity leave. Then I went back to work. So obviously I've been back to work for quite a few months now. But I'm feeling just this guilt about being pregnant again. Our timeline is almost going to align exactly as it was with Jude. We'll be off by maybe 4 to 6 weeks, but it's also going to be the same time frame, which is almost comical at this point. But I love my job. I really respect my coworkers. I really respect my director. And I feel that maternity leave puts a lot of pressure on the team. So something I'm working on this week is just letting that go. Letting any worry go about letting my employer know that we're expecting again. If you're in the same boat, I feel for you. Even the first time around when I was pregnant and I told them, I immediately was like, don't worry, this isn't going to affect my work. I'm only going to take 10 to 12 weeks maternity leave. I have quite a few doctor's appointments, but I'll bring my laptop with me. And they kind of were like, relax, it's okay. This is very exciting. We know you'll get everything done. We're not worried about it. So I'm trying to get a little bit better about that for this pregnancy too, because the truth is, I get my shit done. I work hard. And this is how life goes, right? Expanding your family, it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. I think part of my struggle that I think a lot of women struggle with, I've watched several TED Talks about this, listened to podcasts about this, is the struggle that women have when they get pregnant of kind of putting their career on hold. I think it's a heated topic. I think it's interesting. I have been at my current job almost 3 years now. And when I accepted this job, my plan with this job was to stay with them for a long time. My goal was to grow within the company. And I think it's normal that I'm feeling a little bit like, whamp, whamp, woe is me, that I've kind of had to take a pause on that. I had to take a pause on it last year for having my son Jude. And now I recognize I'm going to be hitting pause again on kind of growing significantly within my role within the next year. It's such a beautiful thing to grow a family. It's such a beautiful thing to be able to be pregnant, to carry these babies, to live in a country that does have maternity leave. I know it does not even hold a candle to Europe, Australia, Canada, but I always try to remember, well, it's a heck of a lot better than some other countries where women don't get any maternity leave. They're forced to go back to work days after having babies. So I just want to say that as a reminder, because I think a lot of times people are like, I only get 6 weeks, I only get 12 weeks. That's not enough time. It's not. I think everyone should get 9 to 12 months maternity leave, 100%. But this is the way that it is for most companies in this country. So I think we should try to be positive about the fact that we do have the option to take maternity leave. I think it's okay, though, to feel the way I'm feeling. And if you're feeling that way too, and you're worried a little bit about not so much job security, but you're worried a little bit about growing within your company or what kind of this pause does mean for your career, I'm there with you. It's normal. Send me a DM. Let's talk about it together, because I think there is a way to stay relevant within your industry, but also be a mom. I don't think you have to choose one or the other. I think there's a way to balance both. I feel as though I'm doing that right now in my current role, right? I'm a mom to my son first, but I'm also not dropping the ball at work, and I'm working hard to prove that I can juggle both of these things. Probably harder than I need to. I think my company knows that I take my job pretty seriously, but again, the Leo in me, super determined, has to do it all. I wish more women talked about it instead of just kind of keeping it inside or talking to their partners about it. I think it's amazing that now on LinkedIn, they actually have a section dedicated to moms that took a break to raise their kids. I think it's for longer periods of time, not just like for maternity leave. But I do think we need to start recognizing that being a mom is a job. I also think we need to recognize maternity leave is anything but a vacation. I remember someone saying to me with my son Jude, they asked me, how long do you get off? And I said, I get, 10 to 12 weeks maternity leave. They said, wow, I've never had a 10-week vacation. And I honestly just didn't even get into it with them because I thought, oh, sister, you don't even have a clue how far this is from a vacation. I've never been more exhausted, more pain, tore in every area you can think of, haven't slept, hormones are all over the place. Yeah, not a vacation, baby, not a vacation. So if someone at your company or in your circle says that to you, I think there's a really kind way to just remind them. I couldn't find a way to be kind about it, so I just didn't say anything. I just said, huh, and just walked away. But I think there is a kind way for us to remind people, whether you've had a child or you have not had a child and this is your first pregnancy. I think most people know maternity leave is there because the mom really needs it. The baby really needs it too. That's so important, that bonding moment that your child needs. But that baby needs mama. Okay, I've left you waiting long enough. Oh, I feel like I need a drum roll. I'm so excited to say when we dug our champagne flute into that beautiful twin A cake, we got blue frosting. My husband started jumping for joy. I screamed so loud that my son started crying because he thought something was wrong. But remember, we've said all along we're having a boy and a girl. So champagne flute one, we were like, yep, not surprised. We knew we were having a boy. We scooted on over to cake number 2, twin B. And what do you know? Mama's having another boy. I'm so excited. I love being a boy mom. I would have loved a little girl. Such different energy. It would have been so fun to just have a baked in best friend here in the house to do girly things with mama. But I think I'm meant to be a boy mom. I mean, clearly, I'm just meant to be a boy mom. Like I said in another episode, I'm here for it. I love their energy. I'm also not going to lie, from a financial standpoint, my husband and I were like, okay, this is great. We pretty much don't have to buy anything new in terms of clothes or toys. We are fully covered in that area. I also am feeling a little bit less anxious because I'm like, okay, I know how to be a boy mom. I know how this goes. I did this with Jude. I understand their energy. But yeah, I mean, again, we were in shock again. Two boys. We're so excited. We're so blessed. We can't wait to experience this journey with two little nugget boys in my tummy. I think it's going to be amazing for Jude. He'll have his two baked in best friends. We're now already calling them the Three Little Musketeers. So the last time I'm going to say it, I know I sound like a broken record. Do something sweet and special, even if it's small, for your gender reveal. I still have a grin so big on my face just because that moment of digging that second champagne flute in was just like, it was wild to see that it was blue again. When my husband and I got engaged, I told him there will never be a weekend better than this in my life, like the moment he asked me to marry him. And I was like, you know what? This is topping it. Finding out we're having two boys and we're going to have three beautiful, wonderful, healthy boys in this house feels like the biggest gift from God. We just are over the moon excited. So do something special and sweet for your gender reveal. One more thing about having two boys. If you're having two boys and you're a little bit bummed because you really wanted to have girls or you wanted to have a boy and a girl, which is totally fair, no judgment here. I read this quote by Denzel Washington, and I think it's so sweet I had to share it. He said, "A mother is a son's first true love. A son is a mother's last true love." Whew. That one hit my heart good. I think that's so sweet. So have fun with your gender reveals. DM me. I want to hear about how they go, especially if anyone does something over the top, probably something I didn't mention, or something simple and sweet. I'd love to hear about it and share it on our platform with others that might be trying to figure out what to do. All right, let's talk about a couple fun things with the little babes. I don't have a ton of updates from week 12 to 14. They're now the size of lemons. At 12 weeks, they were the size of limes. So not a huge amount of growth. They are developing their facial muscles, but obviously they are not reacting to emotions yet. And that means they're capable of frowning or squinting, which I think is kind of cute. I just imagine them in there. I imagine one of my little boys frowning when his brother kind of kicks him. And their sense of taste is also starting to form, which means little taste buds are developing. Their bones are beginning to harden. And most importantly, we're in trimester 2 now. Love trimester 2. I'm hoping it's the same as it was with my son. Trimester 2, like 2 weeks into it, I felt like a completely different person. I had so much damn energy. We actually bought a house and moved in trimester 2. And I kid you not, my husband had a crazy work day and was like working for 10 hours straight. He opened his office door and I had unpacked the entire house in one day in 10 hours, pregnant in trimester 2. I think there's just a ton of energy that comes with it. So I haven't exactly felt that yet with the twins. I'm not expecting the same amount of energy, but I am expecting we get out of this nausea, heartburn, blah, 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 blah. Done with that. Want to start feeling good again. I am preparing, though, to grow quickly. I already have a little bump. I know it's going to become a big bump really soon, which reminds me, if you have not got maternity clothes yet, ladies, get maternity clothes. I think a lot of people are really worried about stretch marks. I know one factor on stretch marks is just genes, baby. It's a little bit hereditary, But there are some things that you can do. They say start early by applying oils and lotions. 2 times a day seems aggressive for me. I'm lucky if I remember at this point, not going to lie, to brush my teeth 2 times a day. So I think applying oils to stretch mark potential areas, nah, we're going to go for 1 a day. I used coconut oil with my son Jude, and it worked. I just wanted something kind of organic, something simple that I could get at the grocery store. Have nothing but good things to say about the coconut oil. If you're looking for something a little bit stronger, I did buy another oil called Bio Oil. You can get it on Amazon. It's just Bio Oil skincare oil. I really liked that too. Just try to find something with some shea butter or vitamin E, or like I said, just go straight up coconut oil. My skin got really itchy starting around like 14, 16 weeks with my son. So I just wanted to always keep it hydrated, which is why the coconut oil really helped for me. I thought I would share one more little fun thing with you guys that my husband and I are doing. We started this last year on New Year's Eve. We brought it back this year. We've been a little lackadaisical about it. Lackadaisical? Could not spell that word for the life of me, FYI. But it's something really fun to look back at the end of the year. This pregnancy for me, there have been moments that have felt very slow, and there's moments that I feel are just flying by. As I mentioned on the podcast, I'm not great at taking photos. I definitely don't have a pregnancy journal where I'm writing down every day how I'm feeling or things that are happening. That's not happening. So this is kind of one way to look back on it. So my husband and I, we have a couple mason jars. We have one that has his name on it, one that has my name, and one that has our family. And then we really should have one for Jude too. We don't. I'm not going to lie. What we do in those jars is we have little sticky notes beside each jar. We put them by our coffee maker so that we remember to look at them and hopefully write in them every week. And we write down little wins that we've had and we put them inside of the mason jar. For example, when we got our testing back and we found out that both boys were healthy, we put that in the mason jar. When we found out we were having twins, we put that in the mason jar. We also add things individually to our jar. For example, launching this podcast. That was something I added to my personal jar. For my husband, he completed a paper at work and really did well on the paper. He added that to his jar. Do you kind of get the idea? So it's like each of us have our personal jar of wins and then we have our family jar of wins. Now, in the family jar of wins, we also put hard things we've been through that we've made it through. I would be lying if I said to you that having a 9-month-old, being pregnant with twins, being newlyweds, and both of us working full-time in careers and jobs that are quite demanding is not hard on us individually, hard on our marriage, hard on our family. It's a lot. I think it's a lot. So we use that jar to just write things down, like an argument, a disagreement that we had, but the way we handled it. Maybe we sat down and we're like, hey, I'm on your team. Let's figure this out together. A big thing that I believe that I really try to remember when we're going through a hard time, because pregnancy for me is tough. It adds an extra layer to our marriage because I can kind of be a monster at times. It's just remembering that it's he and I versus the problem, not he and I versus each other. Just a fun little tip. Again, they're mason jars. We get them at Costco. We get the little sticky notes. We write the Sharpies. We had so much fun last year on New Year's Eve. We stayed home. We didn't know we were pregnant yet, right? We stayed home. Our son went to bed early. We watched a fun movie. We made a really nice charcuterie board, got a bottle of wine, and we opened up the jars and read all the things that I get emotional, that we wrote down. Just things that we forgot. You know, you go through pregnancy and you think, oh, I'll never forget this. And you do. Or the first moments with your kids, you think, I will never forget the first time he rolled over. The first time she smiled at me knowingly, and you forget. So this is just one way for us that works. And then at the end of the year, I take our favorite items and I just save those ones. Some of the wins we had, like had a great meeting today. Those we just toss. But the bigger ones that we want to remember, we keep them in our little scrapbook area that one day I will scrapbook in theory, and I'll put them in a beautiful book with photos. Last update for you guys. I want to be this person that is doing a podcast for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 14, 16, 18, 20. I'm failing at it, and then I'm feeling really guilty. And the fun of it is kind of going away because I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to quickly film this one. So instead, I'm just going to work on weekly podcasts to update everyone. I'll still include tips and tricks on the babies. I'll still talk about what we're going through at pregnancy at that time. So next up will be 16 weeks. But just a little update. I'm just going to start dropping weekly podcasts with different topics that you can go back and revisit if your nausea gets bad again. Or maybe the first episode if you just need to laugh again because maybe you're just joining and you're just figuring out that you're having twins. That's a good one to listen to. All right, everyone. See you next week.